the easiest way to achieve financial freedom in 2026. Complete audiobook manuscript. Nobody's coming to save you. Not the government, not your employer, not some miracle inheritance from a distant relative you never knew existed. Your retirement dreams? They're crumbling right now as you listen to this. Your debt? It's suffocating you. Credit cards maxed out, student loans bleeding you dry every single month, car payments that feel like a second rent, and that dream of financial freedom, that vision of waking up without checking your bank account in fear, it feels impossible. A fantasy reserved for trust fund kids and tech millionaires. But here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. You're drowning because the system wants you to drown. They want you working until you're 70. They want you living paycheck to paycheck. They profit from your struggle. And the worst part, you've been taught to accept it. Well, not anymore. Listen, I get it. You wake up every morning, drag yourself to work, grind for 8, 9, 10 hours. You come home exhausted. You look at your bank account and think, where did it all go? Another month, another zero balance, another overdraft fee, another late night anxiety attack wondering how you'll afford your kid's birthday party or that car repair that just came out of nowhere. You're not alone. Right now in America, 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. 78%. That's not just you. That's your neighbor, your coworker, that confident guy at the gym who drives a nice car? Yeah, him too. He's probably one emergency away from financial collapse. The average American household carries $38,000 in debt, not counting mortgages, just credit cards, student loans, car payments, medical bills. $38,000! And here's what kills me. You're working harder than ever. You're more educated than any generation before you. You're hustling, side gigging, doing everything right, but you're still broke. Why? Because nobody ever taught you the real game. They taught you to get good grades, go to college, get a job, buy things you can't afford to impress people you don't like, and somehow hope it all works out. It doesn't. But here's the good news. You don't need a miracle. You don't need to win the lottery. You don't need a six-figure salary. You need a system, a plan, and the discipline to stick with it. And that's exactly what this audiobook is going to give you. Before we go any further, let me introduce you to 3 people. Real people. People just like you. Meet David. David is 32 years old. He lives in Austin, Texas. He works in tech, not as a developer, but in customer support. He makes $65,000 a year. Sounds decent, right? But David has $45,000 in debt. Student loans from a degree he barely uses, credit cards he maxed out furnishing his apartment and funding weekend trips to live a little, a car payment on a Toyota he bought new because the salesman convinced him he deserved it. Every month, David made his minimum payments. Every month, his debt barely moved. He was trapped on a hamster wheel, running faster and getting nowhere. Now meet Sarah. Sarah is 28. She's a third-grade teacher in Charlotte, North Carolina. She makes $42,000 a year. A salary that sounds okay until you realize she's shaping the minds of 30 kids every single day for that amount. Sarah has 0 savings. 0. Not because she's irresponsible, not because she's buying luxury handbags or going on expensive vacations. She just exists. Rent, groceries, gas, utilities, student loan payments. Every month she makes it to the next paycheck. Barely. One car breakdown, one medical bill, one unexpected expense, and she's done.
She lives in constant low-level panic. And then there's Marcus. Marcus is 35. He's a warehouse supervisor in Phoenix, Arizona. He makes $52,000 a year managing a team of 20 people. He works 50-hour weeks, sometimes 60. Marcus has no savings, no investments, no retirement plan beyond "I'll figure it out later." He's got 2 kids, a wife, a mortgage, and the weight of the world on his shoulders. He lies awake at night wondering, what happens if I lose my job? What happens if I get sick? How will my kids go to college? David, Sarah, Marcus. 3 different people, 3 different cities, 3 different incomes. But one shared reality. They were all stuck. Until they weren't. Because 1 year ago, each of them made a decision. They decided enough was enough. They followed a system, the exact system I'm about to share with you. And today, David has paid off $33,000 of his debt. He's down to $12,000 and will be completely debt-free in 8 months. He has $15,000 invested in his retirement account.
Sarah built a $3,000 emergency fund in 90 days. She opened a Roth IRA and contributes $200 a month. For the first time in her adult life, she sleeps peacefully. Marcus has $28,000 in net worth. A year ago, he had negative $5,000. He's on track to have $50,000 in investments by the time he's 40. They're not special. They're not geniuses. They didn't get a raise or a windfall. They just followed the plan. And now you will too. Here's what you're going to learn in this audiobook. In the next 90 minutes, I'm going to break down the exact step-by-step system that David, Sarah, and Marcus used to transform their financial lives. You're going to learn how to completely shift your money mindset. Because if you don't fix your relationship with money, no amount of budgeting will save you. You're going to learn how to track every single dollar you spend without feeling like you're living in a prison. This isn't about deprivation. It's about awareness. And awareness is power. You're going to learn the 50-30-20 budget system that actually works. Not some complicated spreadsheet nightmare, but a simple, flexible framework you can implement today. You're going to learn how to kill your debt, like your life depends on it. Because it does. Debt is financial cancer, and we're going to surgically remove it. You're going to learn how to build a $3,000 emergency fund in just 90 days, even if you think you have 0 extra money right now. You're going to learn how to start investing with as little as $50. Yes, 50. You don't need $10,000 sitting in a bank account. You can start today. You're going to learn how to automate your entire financial system so you can't fail, because willpower is overrated. Systems win. And finally, you're going to get a 12-month roadmap for 2026, month by month, step by step, so that 1 year from today, you'll be living proof that financial freedom isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. All of this requires just 30 minutes a day, 1 episode of Netflix. That's it. 6 months from now, if you follow this system, your life will be unrecognizable. You'll have money in the bank. You'll have investments growing. You'll have a plan. You'll have control. You'll be free. But let me be real with you for a second. This won't be easy. If you're expecting some magic pill, some get-rich-quick scheme, some secret loophole the wealthy don't want you to know about, turn this off right now. This isn't that.
This is about discipline, consistency, sacrifice. There will be days when your friends invite you out and you have to say no because you're sticking to your budget. There will be weeks when you're exhausted and the last thing you want to do is track your spending or review your goals. There will be moments when you want to give up, when you think, why am I even doing this? It's not working fast enough. And that's when most people quit. But not you, because you know the alternative. You've been living it. The anxiety, the fear, the feeling of being trapped in a life you can't escape. That ends now. Yes, it's hard, but staying broke is harder. Working until you're 70 is harder. Living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life is harder. You get to choose your hard. So here's what we're going to do. Right now, I want you to make a decision. Not later, not tomorrow, right now. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Are you ready to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your life? If the answer is yes, then here's your first action step. Listen to this audiobook all the way through. Don't skip chapters. Don't cherry-pick the parts that sound interesting. Listen to the entire thing. Because this isn't a collection of random tips. It's a system, a blueprint, and every piece matters. After each chapter, you're going to get a specific action step. Something small, something doable, something that takes 15 minutes or less, and you're going to do it. Not think about it, not plan to do it later. You're going to do it immediately. That's how change happens, not through inspiration, through action. David didn't transform his life by listening to a podcast and feeling motivated for 3 days. He did it by taking one small step, then another, until those steps became a system, and that system became his lifestyle. Sarah didn't build her emergency fund by hoping and wishing. She did it by cutting out the noise, focusing on what mattered, and showing up every single day. Marcus didn't build wealth by waiting for the perfect moment. He started with $50, then $100, then $200. Small, consistent actions compounded into life-changing results. And now it's your turn. The next 90 minutes will give you the knowledge, but only you can provide the action. So take a deep breath, silence your doubts, ignore the voice in your head that says, "This won't work for me." Because it will. Not because I'm special, not because this is magic, but because this system works for anyone willing to follow it. Nobody's coming to save you.
But you can save yourself. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Money Mindset Revolution. Money isn't evil. Your relationship with it is broken. Let me say that again, because this is the foundation of everything we're about to build. Money is not the problem. You are. Not because you're stupid, not because you're lazy, not because you don't work hard enough, but because nobody, not your parents, not your teachers, not your college professors, ever taught you how to think about money correctly. They taught you that money is scarce, that rich people are greedy, that wanting wealth makes you shallow, that struggling is noble, and ambition is suspicious. And now, you're stuck in a mental prison you didn't even know you built. Here's the truth. Wealthy people don't have different opportunities than you. They don't have secret knowledge. They don't have magic powers. They just think differently. And today, you're going to start thinking differently too. Because financial freedom doesn't start with a budget. It doesn't start with cutting expenses or investing in index funds. It starts in your mind. Remember David, 32 years old, tech worker in Austin, $65,000 a year, $45,000 in debt? Let me tell you what David's typical day looked like 1 year ago. He'd wake up at 7 a.m., groggy and unmotivated. He'd hit snooze 3 times.
finally drag himself out of bed, rush to get ready. No time for breakfast at home, so he'd stop at Starbucks. Grande latte and a breakfast sandwich. $6.50 every single morning. That's $130 a month, $1,560 a year on coffee and a mediocre egg sandwich. Lunch? David worked in a tech office with a decent cafeteria, but he didn't like the options. So most days, he'd order Chipotle on DoorDash or walk to the sandwich shop next door. $15 including tip. Sometimes $20. Let's be conservative and say $15 a day, 5 days a week. That's $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Dinner was the worst. After a long day at work, David was exhausted. The last thing he wanted to do was cook. So he'd order DoorDash, Uber Eats, sometimes Grubhub, if they had a promo. Entree, delivery fee, service fee, tip, $25 to $35. Let's say he did this 4 times a week. That's anywhere from $400 to $560 a month. Let's average it $480.
$5,760 a year. Now let's add it up. Starbucks breakfasts, $1,560. Lunch out, $3,600. DoorDash dinners, $5,760. Total, $10,920. Every single year on food. And David made $65,000 a year before taxes. After taxes, insurance, and retirement contributions he wasn't paying attention to, he was taking home about $48,000. He was spending almost 23% of his take-home pay on convenience food. But here's the thing, David didn't see it that way. He didn't wake up and think, I'm going to waste $11,000 this year on drive-through breakfast and delivery apps. He thought, it's just $6. I need coffee. I deserve this. At lunch, it's only $15. Everyone's going out. I can't bring a sad little salad from home. At dinner, I'm exhausted. I worked hard today. $25 for convenience is worth it. $6, $15, $25. Individually, they felt insignificant. But compounded over days, weeks, months, years, they were quietly destroying his financial future. And the worst part? David genuinely believed he didn't have money to save. I can't invest, he'd say. I'm barely making ends meet. Barely making ends meet while spending $11,000 a year on food he could have made at home for a fraction of the cost. This is what I mean when I say your relationship with money is broken. David wasn't a bad person. He wasn't irresponsible. He was just unconscious. He had never stopped to ask, is this $6 latte moving me closer to my goals or further away? And that unconsciousness, that mental fog around money is what keeps most people broke their entire lives. So let's talk about why this happens. Let's talk about the psychology of money. There are 2 dominant money mindsets in the world: scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. Scarcity mindset says there's never enough, money is hard to get, rich people are lucky or corrupt. If I spend money on myself, I'm being selfish. I should just be grateful for what I have and not ask for more.
People with scarcity mindsets hoard, hide, and stress over every dollar. Ironically, they also waste money on stupid things because they never learn to value it properly. They'll spend $6 a day on coffee without thinking, but refuse to invest $50 a month because what if I need it for an emergency? Abundance mindset says there's more than enough. Money is a tool I can learn to use. Wealth is available to anyone willing to learn the game. If I spend money wisely, I'm investing in my future. I can always create more value and earn more money. People with abundance mindsets aren't reckless. They're strategic. They spend intentionally. They invest consistently. They don't see money as something to fear. They see it as something to master. Here's the neuroscience part. Your brain is wired to avoid loss more than it seeks gain. This is called loss aversion, and it's a survival mechanism from our caveman days. Back then, losing your food stash could mean death. So our brains evolved to be hyper-focused on avoiding loss. The problem? In modern society, this same mechanism makes you do stupid things. You'll hold on to a stock that's tanking because selling feels like admitting defeat. You'll refuse to cancel subscriptions you don't use because you might need them later. You'll keep a job you hate because quitting feels risky, even though staying is slowly killing your soul and your bank account. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to make you wealthy. So if you want to build wealth, you have to override your default programming. You have to train your brain to think long-term, not short-term, to see investing as opportunity, not risk, to understand that every dollar you waste today is a future dollar you're stealing from yourself. Let me give you an example. That $11,000 David spent on food, if he had invested it instead at an average annual return of 8%, do you know what he'd have in 30 years? $124,000. $124,000 from cutting out Starbucks and DoorDash. That's not a small number. That's a down payment on a house. That's financial security. That's freedom. But David didn't see it that way, because his brain was wired for instant gratification, not long-term wealth. And here's the hard truth. So is yours. But starting today, we're rewiring it. Now, let me prepare you for what's coming. Changing your money mindset isn't some feel-good exercise where you repeat affirmations in the mirror and magically start attracting wealth.
This is going to be uncomfortable. This is going to challenge you. This is going to force you to confront beliefs you've held your entire life. When you start saying no to things that don't serve you, people are going to notice. Your friends are going to invite you out for drinks. Come on, just one night, don't be cheap. And you're going to have to say, I'm good. I'm focusing on my goals right now. They'll laugh. They'll make jokes. Look at Mr. Money over here, too good for us now. They're not bad people. They're just stuck in the same scarcity mindset you're trying to escape. And your growth makes them uncomfortable because it forces them to look at their own choices. Let them talk. Your coworkers are going to go out for lunch every day. Come on, it's Taco Tuesday, just $12. And you're going to pull out your meal prepped lunch and eat it with pride. Because you know that $12, 5 days a week, is $240 a month you're keeping in your pocket. Your family might not understand. Why are you being so extreme? Just live a little. And you're going to smile and say, I am living. I'm just building the life I actually want, not the one everyone expects me to have. The first month is the hardest. You'll feel deprived. You'll feel like you're missing out. You'll wonder if it's even worth it. It is. Because on the other side of this discomfort is freedom. On the other side is peace. On the other side is waking up and not being terrified of your bank balance. David almost quit in week 3. He was tired of bringing lunch to work, tired of skipping happy hour, tired of feeling different. But then he checked his savings account. In 3 weeks, he had saved $480. $480 he normally wouldn't have had. And something clicked. He realized, this is real. This is working. I can actually do this. That's the moment everything changes. When belief meets evidence. And you're about to create your own evidence. All right, here's your first real action step. This is called the 7-day money belief audit. For the next 7 days, you're going to spend 5 minutes every morning writing down your beliefs about money. Not what you think you should believe, not what sounds good, what you actually believe deep down.
Here's how it works. Grab your phone, open your Notes app, or grab a notebook if you're old school. Every morning, right after you wake up, answer these questions. Day 1.
What did your parents teach you about money? Write it down. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. Money is the root of all evil. Whatever it was, write it. Day 2. What's your biggest fear about money? Be honest. I'll never have enough. I'll end up homeless. I'll disappoint my family. I'm not smart enough to be wealthy. Write it down. Day 3. What does being wealthy mean to you? Not the generic answer, your answer. Never checking my bank account before buying groceries, traveling twice a year, paying off my mom's house. Whatever it is, write it. Day 4. Why haven't you achieved financial freedom yet? This is the hard one. Not excuses, real reasons. I don't track my spending. I use shopping as therapy. I don't believe I deserve it. Write the truth. Day 5. If you had $10,000 right now, what would you do with it? First instant, not the right answer. Would you pay off debt, invest it, buy something? Be honest with yourself. Day 6. What would your life look like if money wasn't a problem? Dream big here. Where would you live? What would you do? How would you feel? Write it all down. Day 7. What's one belief about money you need to let go of? This is your breakthrough question. After 6 days of reflection, what's the one toxic belief holding you back? Write it down, then cross it out. Let it go. This exercise isn't fluffy. This is strategic psychological reprogramming. Because you can't change what you don't acknowledge. You can't fix a problem you won't name. David did this exercise. On day 4, he wrote, I haven't achieved financial freedom because I use spending as a reward for working hard. I think I deserve convenience because my job is stressful. That one sentence changed everything for him, because once he saw it on paper, he realized, I'm literally paying for stress relief, but the spending is creating more stress. I'm trapped in a loop. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Sarah did this exercise and realized she equated saving money with deprivation. Her parents were frugal to the point of misery, and she associated budgeting with joylessness. So she overspent to feel free, not realizing she was trapping herself.
Marcus realized he believed wealth was for other people, smarter people, luckier people, people who grew up with money. So he never even tried. He was defeated before he started. What will you discover about yourself? I don't know. But I promise you, if you do this exercise honestly, you will uncover something that's been quietly sabotaging you for years. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you can't unsee it, you can change it. So here's what you're going to do right now. Pause this audiobook. Yes, right now, pull out your phone, open your Notes app. At the very top, write this sentence. I control money. Money doesn't control me. Read it out loud. Say it like you mean it. I control money. Money doesn't control me. This is your new mantra, your new identity, your new operating system. Every time you're about to spend money on something you don't need, repeat this sentence. Every time you feel the urge to order takeout because you're tired, repeat this sentence. Every time you think it's just a few bucks, it doesn't matter, repeat this sentence. Because it does matter. Every single dollar matters. Not because you need to be cheap, not because you can't enjoy life, but because every dollar you spend unconsciously is a dollar stolen from your future self. From the version of you who's financially free, who sleeps peacefully, who isn't one emergency away from disaster. That future version of you is counting on you to make better decisions today. Don't let them down. Starting tomorrow morning, you're beginning your 7-day money belief audit. 5 minutes, 7 days, that's it. No excuses. No, I'll start next week. Tomorrow.
Because here's the truth. If you can't commit to 5 minutes a day for 7 days, you're not serious about changing your life. And that's fine. But then stop lying to yourself about wanting financial freedom. But if you are serious, if you're ready to burn the old version of yourself and rebuild from the ground up, then grab that notebook, set your alarm, and show up.
David showed up, Sarah showed up, Marcus showed up, and 6 months later, their lives were unrecognizable. Your turn. Let's go. Chapter 2. Track every dollar. Yes, every single one. Let me ask you a question. If I told you there was a leak in your house and you were losing $100 a day in water damage, would you ignore it? Of course not. You'd find the leak, you'd fix it immediately. But right now, you have financial leaks. Money is pouring out of your account every single day, and you have no idea where it's going. You can't control what you don't track. You can't fix what you don't see. You can't build wealth if you don't know where your money is disappearing to. And I'm willing to bet everything I own that you have no clue where at least 30% of your income goes every month. I spend it on stuff. Life. No, that's not good enough anymore. Today, you're going to become obsessed with tracking every single dollar. And I mean every single dollar. Not because you're going to become some joyless penny pincher who won't buy a coffee, but because awareness is power, and you can't win a game when you don't even know the score. Let's fix that. Remember Sarah? 28 years old, third grade teacher in Charlotte, North Carolina. She makes $42,000 a year. After taxes, health insurance, and her required retirement contribution, Sarah takes home about $2,800 a month. Let's round up and say $3,000. $3,000 a month, $36,000 a year. Not bad for a single person with no kids, right? Except Sarah was always broke. Every single month, her checking account would hit zero, sometimes even negative by the 25th. She'd have to put groceries on a credit card. She'd overdraft buying gas. She was living in a constant state of low-level financial panic.
And she couldn't figure out why. I don't spend a lot, she'd tell herself. I'm not buying designer clothes or going on fancy vacations. Where is it all going? So one day, after overdrafting for the third month in a row, Sarah decided to do something radical. She decided to track every single expense for 30 days. Not estimate, not guess, actually write down every dollar she spent the moment she spent it. Here's what she discovered. Rent, $950. Okay, expected. Car payment, $280. Necessary. Car insurance, $140. Can't avoid it. Student loan payment, $220. Mandatory. Phone bill, $85. Need it for work. Utilities, $110 average. Reasonable. So far, that's $1,785, leaving her with about $1,215 for everything else. That should have been plenty for groceries, gas, and occasional fun, right? But here's where it got interesting. Groceries. Sarah thought she spent about $300 a month on groceries. Turns out, she spent $460. She was picking up a few things multiple times a week instead of doing one big shop, and those little trips added up fast. Gas, $180. Fair enough. Eating out. This is where Sarah's jaw dropped. She thought she spent maybe $150 a month eating out. Actual number? $412. Lunch with coworkers twice a week, coffee runs before school, Friday night dinners because she was too tired to cook, Sunday brunch with friends. It all felt small in the moment, but over a month? $412? Subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Apple iCloud storage, Audible,
a meditation app she forgot she had, a fitness app she used once. Total, $63 a month, $756 a year on subscriptions she barely used.
Target runs. Sarah would go to Target for one thing, laundry detergent, let's say, and walk out with $60 worth of stuff. It was on sale. I needed it. Every 2 weeks, like clockwork, that's $120 a month on random Target impulse buys. Amazon. Oh, Amazon. The silent wealth killer. Free shipping makes it so easy. A book here, a phone case there, some skincare products, a new water bottle because hers Liz old. Sarah spent $97 a month on Amazon without even realizing it. Beauty and self-care. Nails every 3 weeks, $70. Haircut and color every 2 months, $120. Skincare products, makeup, average monthly cost, $115. Let's add up Sarah's small expenses. Groceries, $460. Eating out, $412. Subscriptions, $63. Target, $120. Amazon, $97. Beauty, $115. Total, $1,267. Remember, she had $1,215 left after her fixed expenses. She was already $52 over, and we haven't even counted gas, car maintenance, gifts, or any emergency expenses. But here's the real kicker. When Sarah looked at her spending, she found $847 of what she called invisible spending. Money she spent without thinking. Money that didn't bring her joy. Money that didn't move her closer to any goal. The coffee runs she didn't even enjoy. She just bought them out of habit. The lunches with coworkers where she wasn't even hungry. She just didn't want to be left out. The Target candles she never burned. The clothes she bought on sale that still had tags on them 3 months later. $847 every single month. If Sarah could eliminate just that invisible spending, she'd have over $10,000 a year to save, invest, or pay off debt. $10,000 just by paying attention. That's the power of tracking. Now, let's talk about something called the latte factor. This term was popularized by financial author David Buck, and it's simple. Small, recurring expenses compound into massive long-term costs. The name comes from the daily coffee habit. Let's say you buy a $5 latte every weekday. 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. That's $1,300 a year. Okay, you're thinking, but I like my coffee. I'm not giving up my coffee. Fine, keep your coffee. But let's do the math on what that coffee actually costs you. If instead of spending $1,300 a year on lattes, you invested that money in a low-cost index fund with an average annual return of 8%, here's what you'd have. After 5 years, $7,800. After 10 years, $19,000. After 20 years, $60,000. After 30 years, $150,000. $150,000. That's not a typo. Your daily latte habit over a career cost you $150,000 in potential wealth. Now, I'm not saying you can never buy coffee. I'm saying you need to be aware of what that coffee actually costs you. Because it's not $5. It's $5 today, plus all the future wealth that money could have generated. And here's the thing. It's not just coffee. It's the streaming services you don't watch, the gym membership you don't use, the food delivery fees, the impulse purchases, the treat yourself moments that happen 3 times a week. Death by 1,000 cuts. Let me give you another example. Let's say you spend $5 per day on coffee, $1,825 per year, $12 per day on lunch, $3,120 per year, 5 days per week, $30 per week on DoorDash, $1,560 per year, $15 per month on unused subscriptions,
$180 per year. Total, $6,685 per year. Invested over 30 years at 8% annual return, $753,000. $750,000. That's the cost of unconscious spending. That's what "it's just a few bucks" really means. Now, I'm not telling you to live like a monk. I'm not telling you to never enjoy your money. But I am telling you to be intentional, to choose your spending, to know with absolute certainty that every dollar you spend is moving you toward your goals, not away from them. And the only way to know that, track it. All right, let's get practical. I'm going to give you 3 different methods for tracking your spending. Pick the one that fits your personality.
Method 1. Old school notebook, David's way. David uses a physical pocket notebook. Cost? $2 at Walmart. Every time he spends money, and I mean every time, he pulls out his notebook and writes it down. 7:15 a.m. Coffee, $4.50. 12:30 p.m. Chipotle, $13.25. 6:45 p.m. Gas, $52. At the end of each day, he adds up his total spending. At the end of each week, he reviews it. At the end of each month, he categorizes everything and looks for patterns. Pros: no app to download, no tech required. The physical act of writing makes you more aware. You can't ignore it. It's literally in your pocket. Studies show people who handwrite their expenses spend 15 to 20% less. Cons: requires discipline, easy to forget, manual calculation. Best for people who like tangible systems, people who want to be forced to slow down and think before spending. Method 2. Tech-savvy apps. If you're digitally inclined, there are incredible apps designed for this. Mint, free, automatically syncs with your bank accounts and credit cards, categorizes transactions, shows you spending trends. Set budget limits for categories and get alerts when you're close. YNAB, you need a budget, $14.99 per month or $99 per year. More hands-on, you manually assign every dollar a job. It's based on zero-based budgeting. Every dollar has a purpose, forces you to be intentional. Pocket Guard, free version available. Shows you how much you have left to spend after bills and savings goals. Simple, visual, great for beginners. Pros: automated tracking, real-time data, visual charts and graphs, set alerts and goals. Cons: monthly fees for premium versions, requires linking bank accounts, privacy concern for some. Can feel disconnected, less painful than cash or writing. Best for people who love data, people who want automation, people who check their phones regularly. Method 3. Hybrid, Excel or Google Sheets. This is what Sarah uses. She downloads a free budget template or creates her own, and every evening she spends 5 minutes entering her day's expenses. She has categories: groceries, eating out, transportation, entertainment, personal care, etc. At the end of the month, she uses formulas to calculate totals and percentages. She can see exactly where every dollar went. Pros: customizable, free, great for visual learners, forces daily review. Cons: requires daily discipline, manual entry, slight learning curve if you're not comfortable with spreadsheets.
Best for people who want control and customization, people who like structure but don't want an app. Here's my advice. Try all 3 for 1 week each. Week 1, notebook. Week 2, app. Week 3, spreadsheet. Then pick the one that you'll actually use, because the best tracking system is the one you'll stick with. Marcus tried the notebook method and hated it. He kept forgetting to write things down. Then he tried Mint, and it changed his life. Automated, always updated, impossible to ignore. David tried apps and felt overwhelmed. The notebook worked because it forced him to slow down and be present with every purchase. Sarah tried the notebook and gave up after 3 days. But the spreadsheet? She loved it. It felt like a game, watching the numbers add up. Find your fit. Then commit. Now, let me be honest with you. The first week of tracking sucks. It's annoying. It feels tedious. You'll forget sometimes. You'll think, this is stupid. I already know I don't spend much. But push through. Because by day 3, you'll start noticing patterns. Wait, I've bought coffee 4 times already this week? By day 7, you'll start making different choices. Do I really need this, or am I just bored? By day 14, it'll become automatic. 2 minutes a day max. And by day 30, you'll have a complete financial picture of your life. You'll know exactly where every dollar goes. And that knowledge is power. Sarah almost quit on day 5. She was tired, she forgot to track lunch, and she thought, what's the point? But she pushed through. And on day 30, when she saw that $847 in invisible spending, everything changed. She wasn't mad at herself. She wasn't ashamed. She was empowered because now she had a choice. Now she could decide, do I want to keep spending this way? Or do I want to redirect this money toward my goals? Knowledge without shame. Awareness without judgment. That's the goal. All right, here's your mission.
Right now, yes, right now, I want you to choose your tracking method. Notebook, app, spreadsheet? Pick one. Don't overthink it. You can always change later. Then, starting today, track every single expense for the next 30 days. Coffee? Write it down. Gas? Write it down. That pack of gum at the checkout? Write it down. The dollar you gave to the guy outside the grocery store? Write it down. Every single dollar. I don't care if it's 50 cents. Track it. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to become hyper-aware of your spending. You're going to start asking yourself, do I really need this? Or am I just spending out of habit? And that question, that one simple question, is going to save you thousands of dollars this year. If you do nothing else from this audiobook, do this. Track your spending for 30 days. Not 29, not most days, 30 consecutive days. Set a reminder on your phone. Make it a ritual. Every evening before bed, 5 minutes. Review your spending, enter it into your system. Done. And here's the accountability piece. At the end of 30 days, I want you to calculate 3 numbers. 1, total spending. 2, invisible spending. Money you spent that didn't bring value or joy. And 3, potential savings. If you cut the invisible spending, write those numbers down. Look at them. Feel them. That's your power number. That's how much money you're about to reclaim. David's number was $1,100 a month. Sarah's was $847. Marcus's was $930. What's yours going to be? There's only one way to find out. Start tracking. Today. Not tomorrow. Not Monday. Today. Because every day you wait is another day of money leaking out of your life without you even noticing. The leak stops now. Let's go.
Chapter 3. The 50-30-20 budget that actually works. Most budgets fail. You know why? Because they're complicated, restrictive, and impossible to maintain. You've probably tried before. You downloaded some app, you created 17 different categories: groceries, $75, gas, $42, entertainment, $20. And by day 5, you gave up. Because who has time to track 17 categories? Who wants to feel guilty every time they buy a coffee because it's eating into their miscellaneous food and beverage category? Nobody.
That's why it doesn't work. But here's the good news. There's a budget system so simple, so flexible, and so effective that even the most budget-resistant person can stick with it. It's called the 50-30-20 budget. 3 categories, 3 numbers, that's it. No spreadsheets with 40 rows, no guilt-inducing apps telling you you've exceeded your fun money for the month. Just 3 simple rules that will transform your financial life. Let me show you how it works. The 50-30-20 budget breaks your after-tax income into 3 categories. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings and debt repayment. That's it. 3 buckets. Every dollar you earn goes into one of these 3 categories. Let's break it down. 50% needs. These are your essentials, the things you absolutely must pay to survive and function. Rent or mortgage, utilities, electric, water, gas, internet, transportation, car payment, insurance, gas, or public transit, minimum debt payments, student loans, credit cards, health insurance and necessary medication, phone bill. Notice what's not on that list. Netflix, Starbucks, new clothes, eating out. Needs are things you literally cannot live without, or things that would have serious legal or financial consequences if you didn't pay. If your rent is late, you get evicted. That's a need. If you don't renew Netflix, you'll survive. That's a want. Your needs should take up no more than 50% of your after-tax income. If they're taking more, we have a problem and we'll fix it.
30% wants. This is your fun money, your quality of life spending, the stuff that makes life enjoyable but isn't essential for survival. Eating out, takeout, delivery, entertainment, movies, concerts, streaming services, hobbies and recreation, gym memberships, shopping, clothes, gadgets, home decor, travel and vacations, personal care beyond basics, haircuts, nails, skincare. This is where most people lose control because wants feel like needs. I need to eat lunch, so Chipotle's a need, right? No, you need to eat. Chipotle is a want. You could pack a lunch for $3 instead of spending $15. I need to relax, so my Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney Plus, and Paramount Plus subscriptions are needs. No, relaxation is a need. 5 streaming services is a want. The beautiful thing about the 30% wants category is that it gives you permission to spend guilt-free, as long as it fits in your 30%. You want to blow $150 on a fancy dinner? Go for it, as long as it fits in your 30%. You want to buy those shoes? Cool, as long as your wants bucket isn't empty. This isn't deprivation. This is intentionality. 20% savings and debt repayment. This is your future. This is freedom. 20% of every dollar you earn should go toward emergency fund, retirement accounts, 401k, IRA, investments, extra debt payments beyond minimums, savings goals like a house down payment or vacation fund. This 20% is non-negotiable. You pay yourself first. Not whatever's left over at the end of the month, not if I have extra. The first 20% every single time. Because here's the truth. If you don't prioritize your future, no one else will. So that's the system, 50, 30, 20. Half your money keeps you alive, 30% keeps you happy, 20% sets you free. Simple, flexible, sustainable. Now, let me show you how it works in real life. Remember Marcus? 35 years old, warehouse supervisor in Phoenix, Arizona, makes $52,000 a year. After taxes, health insurance, and his 401k contribution, Marcus takes home about $4,000 a month. 1 year ago, Marcus had 0 savings,
no emergency fund, and no plan. He wasn't reckless. He wasn't buying luxury cars or designer clothes. He just existed, paycheck to paycheck, month after month. Here's what his spending looked like before the 50-30-20 budget. Needs, 82% of his income. Mortgage, $1,400. Car payment, $450. Car insurance, $180. Utilities, $220. Groceries, $600. Gas, $240. Phone, $90. Minimum debt payments, $300. Total needs, $3,480. That's 87% of his $4,000 income. Not 82, I did the math wrong. 87%. Wants, 13%. What was left? $520 a month for everything else. Eating out, entertainment, clothes, anything fun. Savings, 0%. Marcus had nothing left to save. And when an emergency hit, like when his transmission went out and cost $1,200 to fix, he had to put it on a credit card, which added to his debt, which increased his minimum payments, which made his needs category even bigger. He was trapped and getting worse every month. Then Marcus learned about 50-30-20, and he realized, my needs are too high. I have to fix this. So here's what he did. Step 1, he audited his needs. That $600 grocery bill? He was eating steak twice a week, buying pre-made meals, shopping without a list. He cut it to $400 by meal prepping, buying in bulk, and choosing cheaper proteins.
Savings, $200 a month. That $450 car payment? He was driving a 2021 Ford F-150 because he needed a truck for work. He didn't. He refinanced and downsized to a used sedan. New payment, $290. Savings, $160 a month. His phone bill, $90 for unlimited data he barely used. He switched to a prepaid plan, $45. Savings, $45 a month. Total freed up from needs, $405 a month. Step 2, he capped his wants. Marcus loved eating out. It was his stress relief, but it was killing his budget. So he set a firm limit. 30% of $4,000 is $1,200. His needs were now down to $3,075 after cuts. That left $925. 30% of $4,000 is $1,200, but he adjusted based on his actual situation. He committed to $600 max for wants. That meant $825 could go towards savings and debt. Step 3, he automated 20% savings. Marcus set up automatic transfers. $200 to his emergency fund, every paycheck, 1st and 15th. $300 to extra debt payments. $325 to his Roth IRA. Every month, automatic, non-negotiable. And here's what happened. Month 1, Marcus felt broke. $600 for wants felt restrictive. He missed the freedom of spending whatever. Month 2, he saw $400 in his emergency fund. Something clicked. This is real. I'm actually doing it. Month 3, his credit card balance dropped by $900. He felt lighter. Month 6, Marcus had $5,000 saved. $5,000! For the first time in his adult life, he wasn't one emergency away from disaster. Month 12 today, Marcus has $12,000 in savings and investments. He paid off 2 credit cards completely. His financial anxiety is gone.
All because he followed 3 simple rules. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% future. All right, let's make this real for you. I'm going to walk through 3 different income levels so you can see exactly how this works. Scenario 1, you make $3,000 per month after taxes. 50% needs equals $1,500. Rent, $800. Utilities, $150. Groceries, $300. Car insurance, $100. Gas, $80. Phone, $50. Minimum debt payments, $20. Total, $1,500. You're right at 50%. Good. 30% wants equals $900. This is your spending money. Restaurants, coffee, entertainment, clothes, whatever. $900 might feel tight if you're used to spending freely, but it's doable. That's $30 a day. 20% savings equals $600. Emergency fund, $300 per month. Roth IRA, $200 per month. Extra debt payment, $100 per month. In 1 year, you'll have $3,600 in emergency savings, $2,400 in retirement, and $1,200 in extra debt payments. That's $7,200 in wealth you didn't have before. Scenario 2. You make $5,000 per month after taxes. 50% needs equals $2,500. Rent or mortgage, $1,400. Utilities, $200. Groceries, $400. Car payment, $300. Car insurance, $120. Gas, $100. Phone, $60. Minimum debt payments, $120. Total, $2,700. Uh-oh, you're over by $200. Time to cut. Maybe negotiate your car insurance. Maybe find a cheaper phone plan. Maybe get a roommate and cut rent. You must get to 50% or under. 30% wants equals $1,500. Now we're talking. $1,500 a month for fun? That's plenty. Dinners out, concerts, hobbies, travel savings. 20% savings equals $1,000. Emergency fund, $500 per month. 401k or Roth IRA, $350 per month. Extra debt payment, $150 per month.
In 1 year, $6,000 emergency fund, $4,200 retirement, $1,800 extra debt payments. Total, $12,000 in net worth growth. Scenario 3. You make $7,000 per month after taxes. 50% needs is $3,500. You've got room here, but don't inflate your lifestyle. Mortgage, $2,000. Utilities, $250. Groceries, $600. Car payment, $400. Insurance, $150. Gas, $120. Phone, $80. Debt, $200. Total, $3,800. You're over again. Cut somewhere. Maybe the car. Maybe groceries. Are you buying organic everything? Get to $3,500. 30% wants is $2,100. This is where lifestyle creep kills people. You have $2,100 to play with. Don't blow it all. Maybe allocate $1,500 for wants and put the extra $600 into savings. You'll thank yourself later. 20% savings is $1,400. Emergency fund, $700 per month. Retirement, $500 per month. Investments, $200 per month. In 1 year, $8,400 emergency fund, $6,000 retirement, $2,400 investments. That's $16,800 in wealth building. See the pattern? The more you make, the more you save, if you don't let lifestyle creep destroy you. Now, here's the hard truth. When you first calculate your 50-30-20, you might find that your needs are 70% or 80%. That's okay. Don't panic. It means you have work to do. You need to cut expenses, increase income, or both. Can you get a roommate and cut rent by $300? Can you sell your car and buy something cheaper? Can you meal prep and cut groceries by $200? Can you cancel subscriptions and cut wants by $100? It won't happen overnight, but every month you should be moving closer to 50-30-20.
Marcus started at 87-13-0. It took him 4 months to get to 50-30-20. Sarah started at 60-40-0. Took her 3 months. David started at 55-45. Took him 2 months. Progress, not perfection. Here's your assignment. This week, you're going to build your 50-30-20 budget. Step 1. Calculate your after-tax monthly income. Not your salary, your actual take-home pay. Step 2. Go through last month's spending, you've been tracking, right? And categorize everything into needs, wants, or savings. Be honest. That DoorDash order? Want. That grocery trip where you bought cookies and chips? Half need, half want. Step 3. Calculate your current percentages. Needs times dollar amount equals percentage. Wants times dollar amount equals percentage. Savings times dollar amount equals percentage. Step 4. Compare to 50-30-20. Where are you off? What needs to change? Step 5. Make a plan. Write down 3 specific actions you'll take this month to move closer to 50-30-20. Example. Cut grocery spending by $100. Meal prep on Sundays. Cancel 2 unused subscriptions. $30 savings. Set up automatic $200 transfer to savings account. Step 6. Implement. Don't just write the plan, do it today. Set up that automatic transfer. Cancel those subscriptions. Make your grocery list for the week. Because here's the truth. A budget is worthless if you don't follow it. And 50-30-20 is the easiest budget to follow because it's only 3 rules. 50% keeps you alive. 30% keeps you happy. 20% sets you free. That's it. That's the whole game. Marcus followed it and saved $5,000 in 6 months. What will you do? There's only one way to find out. Build your budget this week. Let's go. Chapter 4. Kill debt like your life depends on it. It does. Debt is modern slavery. I know that sounds dramatic, but think about it. Every month you wake up and go to work, you trade your time, your life, for money. And then you hand that money over to banks, credit card companies, and loan servicers. You're working for them, not for yourself.
That vacation you can't take because you have credit card payments? That's the chains. That career change you can't make because you need the steady paycheck to cover your student loans? That's the chains. That emergency fund you can't build because every extra dollar goes to debt? That's the chains. Debt steals your options. It steals your freedom. It steals your future. And here's the truth nobody wants to hear. If you don't kill your debt, it will kill your dreams. So today, we're going to war. We're going to learn exactly how to destroy your debt, step by step, dollar by dollar, until you're finally completely free. Let's break these chains. Let's start with some sobering statistics. The average American household has $38,000 in debt. And that's not counting mortgages. That's just credit cards, student loans, car loans, personal loans, and medical debt. $38,000. Let's break that down. Credit card debt, average of $6,200 per household, with an average interest rate of 19 to 24%. Student loan debt, average of $37,000 per borrower. Total U.S. student loan debt, $1.7 trillion. Auto loan debt, average car payment is $563 per month for new cars, $397 for used. Medical debt. Over 20% of American households have medical debt in collections. Now here's the part that should terrify you. Interest. Let's say you have $10,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest and you're only making the minimum payment of $200 a month. How long will it take you to pay it off? 9 years. And how much will you actually pay in total? $21,600. You'll pay more than double what you borrowed. $21,000 to borrow $10,000. That's not a loan, that's robbery. Legal, what robbery? Now multiply that across all your debts. Credit cards, car loans, student loans. Every month, hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars are disappearing into interest payments. Money that could be building wealth, securing your future, giving you options. Instead, it's gone. Forever. That's why debt is the enemy. That's why we're going to obliterate it. Because every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar you're never getting back. Let's go back to David. 2 years ago, David had $45,000 in debt.
Credit cards, $18,000 across 3 cards. Average interest rate, 22%. Student loans, $27,000. Interest rate, 6.5%. Every month, his minimum payments were credit cards, $450. Student loans, $280. That's $730 a month just to stay afloat, not to make progress, just to not fall further behind. David was 29 years old. He was making $65,000 a year, and he was trapped. He did the math one day and realized if he only made minimum payments, it would take him 17 years to pay off his credit cards. 17 years! He'd be 46 years old, and he would have paid over $52,000 to clear $18,000 in debt. That broke something in him. He said, "No, not 17 years, not one more year than necessary. I'm ending this." So here's what David did. Month 1 through 3, the audit. David wrote down every single debt, the balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment. He faced it, all of it. No more ignoring statements, no more pretending it wasn't that bad. He had $45,000 in debt, and he was going to kill it. Month 4 through 6, the sacrifice. David cut his spending to the bone. Remember that $1,100 a month he was wasting on food? Gone. He meal prepped every Sunday. He brought lunch to work every day. He stopped ordering DoorDash. He canceled subscriptions. He stopped going to happy hour. He sold stuff he didn't need. Old video games, clothes, a guitar he never played. Every extra dollar went to debt. Every single one. Month 6 through 12, the snowball. David used a strategy called the debt snowball. We'll get to that in a minute. He focused on paying off his smallest credit card first while making minimum payments on everything else. 3 months later, that first card was paid off. Balance, 0. The psychological win was massive. I did it. I can actually do this. Then he took the money he was paying on that card and rolled it into the next one, snowball. Month 12 to 18, the momentum. By month 18, David had paid off all 3 credit cards, $18,000 gone. He could finally breathe. His monthly payments dropped from $730 to $280, just the student loans.
Month 18 to 24, the final push. Now David attacked his student loans with everything he had. He threw every bonus, every tax refund, every extra dollar at it. By month 24, 2 years from when he started, David had paid off $33,000. He still has $12,000 in student loans, but at 6.5% interest, it's manageable, and he'll have it paid off in 8 months. 2 years ago, David was drowning. Today, he's almost free. How did he do it? Strategy, discipline, and a relentless refusal to stay enslaved to his past mistakes. Now let me teach you the 2 methods he considered and you can use to kill your debt. There are 2 proven debt repayment strategies. Both work. You just need to pick the one that fits your personality. Strategy 1, the debt snowball method. This is what David used. Here's how it works. Step 1, list all your debts from smallest balance to largest. Ignore interest rates for now. Example, credit card A, $1,200. Credit card B, $3,500. Car loan, $8,000. Student loan, $22,000. Step 2. Make minimum payments on everything except the smallest debt. Step 3. Throw every extra dollar at the smallest debt until it's gone. Step 4. Once the smallest debt is paid off, take the money you were paying on it and roll it into the next smallest debt. That's the snowball. Why it works? Psychology. Quick wins. When you pay off that first debt, even if it's only $1,200, you get a massive psychological boost. I did it. I can do this. That motivation carries you to the next one and the next one. And before you know it, you've got momentum. The debt snowball isn't mathematically optimal, but it's psychologically powerful. And psychology matters more than math when it comes to behavior change. Best for people who need quick wins to stay motivated, people who've tried and failed before, people who get discouraged easily. Strategy 2, the debt avalanche method. This is the mathematically optimal approach. Here's how it works. Step 1, list all your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. Ignore balances.
Example, credit card A, $3,500 at 24% interest. Credit card B, $1,200 at 19% interest. Car loan, $8,000 at 7% interest. Student loan, $22,000 at 5% interest. Step 2. Make minimum payments on everything except the highest interest debt. Step 3. Attack the highest interest debt with everything you've got. Step 4. Once it's gone, roll that payment into the next highest interest debt. Avalanche. Why it works? Math. You save the most money on interest. By attacking high-interest debt first, you reduce the total amount you'll pay over time. You get out of debt faster and cheaper. The downside? It can feel slow at first. If your highest interest debt is also your biggest balance, it might take months before you see that first account hit zero. Best for people who are motivated by efficiency, people who are disciplined and don't need quick wins, people who want to save the most money. So, which one should you choose? Here's my advice. If you're motivated by logic and you're confident you can stick with the plan even without quick wins, use the avalanche. If you've struggled with debt before, if you need to see progress to stay motivated, if you're worried you'll give up, use the snowball. Both work. Both will get you out of debt. The best method is the one you'll actually follow. David chose the snowball because he knew himself. He needed that first win. He needed to see a zero balance to believe it was possible. Sarah, on the other hand, used the avalanche. She's analytical. She did the math and said, I want to save the most money possible. And she stuck with it. Marcus, he started with the snowball, got his first win, then switched to the avalanche, hybrid approach. You do you. All right, here's what you're going to do right now. Step 1. List every single debt. Open a spreadsheet, grab a notebook, whatever. Write it down. Debt name, credit card, student loan, current balance, interest rate, minimum payment. Don't skip this. You can't fight an enemy you won't look at. Step 2. Choose your strategy. Snowball or avalanche. Pick one.
Step 3. Use a debt payoff calculator. Go to a free online debt payoff calculator. There are dozens. I recommend unbury.me, free, simple, visual, Vertex 42 Debt Reduction Calculator, Excel or Google Sheets, calculator.net Debt Payoff Calculator. Plug in your numbers, your debts, your extra payment amount. The calculator will show you how long it will take to be debt-free, how much interest you'll pay, your payoff timeline. Step 4. Create your timeline. Look at that calculator. It might say, if you pay an extra $100 a month, you'll be debt-free in 4 years instead of 9. 4 years. That's your goal. That's your finish line. Write it down. Put it somewhere visible.
debt-free by June 2029. Make it real. Step 5. Automate your extra payment. Don't rely on willpower. Set up an automatic payment. If you're paying an extra $50 a month on your smallest debt, automate it. Every month, same day, automatic. Remove the decision, remove the temptation to skip a month. Here's your mission. This month, not next month, this month, you're going to pay more than the minimum on at least one debt. I don't care if it's only $25 extra. I don't care if it's 10. Pay something extra. Why? Because it breaks the cycle. It shifts your identity. You go from person drowning in debt to person actively destroying debt. That psychological shift is everything. Let me tell you what happened to Sarah. Sarah had $6,000 in credit card debt at 21% interest. Minimum payment, $120 a month. For 2 years, she paid the minimum. The balance barely moved. She felt hopeless. Then 1 month, she paid an extra $50, $170 total. The next month, she logged in to check her balance. It had dropped by $168 instead of the usual $42. Something clicked. Wait, my extra payment actually made a difference. I can see it. That $50 payment changed everything. Not because of the math, because of the belief. She kept going. $75 extra the next month, $100 the month after that.
14 months later, her credit card was paid off, completely. All because she started with $50. So here's what you're doing this month. Action 1. List all your debts, today. Action 2. Choose snowball or avalanche. Action 3. Use a debt calculator. See your freedom date. Action 4. Pay an extra $50 this month on one debt. If you can't do 50, do 25. If you can't do 25, do 10. Just do something extra. And then next month, do it again, and again, and again, until the day you log in and see that beautiful word, 0. Debt is slavery, but you hold the key. It's time to unlock the chains. Let's go. Chapter 5. Build your $3,000 emergency fund in 90 days. Picture this. You're driving to work on a Monday morning. Coffee in hand, traffic's not too bad. You're thinking about that meeting at 10. Then you hear it. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Your car starts shaking. The check engine light comes on. You pull over. Steam's coming from under the hood. You call a tow truck, get it to the mechanic, and 3 hours later, you get the call. It's your transmission, $1,200 to fix. $1,200. How do you pay for it? Credit card? Now you've got high-interest debt eating away at your future. Borrow from family? Now you've got awkward Thanksgiving dinners for the next 2 years. Just don't fix it? Now you can't get to work. Now you might lose your job. One broken car, financial disaster. Unless you have an emergency fund. $3,000 sitting in an account labeled Do Not Touch. Not for wants, not for fun, only for emergencies. With an emergency fund, that $1,200 repair isn't a disaster. It's an inconvenience. You pay it, you move on, and your life continues. That's the power of an emergency fund. And today, you're going to build one. 90 days, $3,000. Let's go. Why $3,000? Why not $500? Why not $10,000? Because data. According to research from the Federal Reserve and multiple financial studies, 80% of emergency expenses fall under $3,000.
Car repairs? Average $500 to $1,500. Medical emergencies, with insurance, average $800 to $2,000. Emergency home repairs, burst pipe, broken appliance, average $500 to $1,200. Sudden job loss, 1 month of bare bones expenses, average $2,000 to $3,000.
$3,000 covers the vast majority of life's curveballs. Is it enough to survive 6 months of unemployment? No, but that's not the point right now. The point is to stop the bleeding, to prevent one bad day from turning into a financial spiral. Because here's what happens without an emergency fund. Your car breaks down. You put it on a credit card. Now you have a $1,200 balance at 22% interest. You can only afford the minimum payment, $25 a month. At that rate, it'll take you 6 years to pay it off, and you'll pay over $2,000 total. One $1,200 emergency just cost you $2,000 and 6 years of stress. Now multiply that by every emergency you'll face over the next decade. Car repairs, medical bills, home repairs, unexpected travel. Each one goes on a credit card. Each one compounds. And before you know it, you're drowning. But with a $3,000 emergency fund, car breaks down. You pay cash. You replenish the fund over the next few months. No debt, no interest, no spiral. That's why $3,000 isn't optional. It's essential. And you're going to build it in 90 days. Let me tell you about the day Sarah's emergency fund saved her life. It was a Tuesday morning. Sarah was driving to school. She teaches 3rd grade, remember? And her car started making a horrible grinding noise. She pulled into a gas station, popped the hood, and had no idea what she was looking at. So she called a mechanic. Tow truck came, took her car to the shop. And 2 hours later, the mechanic called. Your brake pads are completely shot. Rotors are damaged. It's not safe to drive. You need new brakes all around. $1,200. Sarah's stomach dropped.
6 months ago, that phone call would have been a panic attack. She would have had 3 options, all bad. 1, put it on a credit card and go deeper into debt. 2, ask her parents for money and feel like a failure. 3, drive an unsafe car and pray nothing bad happens. But this time, Sarah said, "Okay, fix it." She hung up, logged into her bank account, and transferred $1,200 from her emergency fund. Done. No panic, no debt, no phone call to mom and dad. Her emergency fund had exactly $3,000 in it that morning. By the afternoon, it had $1,800. Was she happy about spending $1,200? No, it sucked. But you know what didn't happen? She didn't spiral. She didn't go into debt. She didn't lose sleep. She just replenished the fund over the next 3 months and moved on with her life. That's the power of an emergency fund. It doesn't make emergencies go away. It makes them manageable. And here's the beautiful part. Sarah built that $3,000 fund in 90 days, 3 months, from 0 to $3,000. If she can do it on a teacher's salary, you can do it too. Let me show you how. All right, here's the blueprint. 90 days, $3,000. That's $1,000 per month, or about $33 per day. Impossible? No. Difficult? Yes, but doable. Here's how you're going to do it. Month 1, the foundation, $1,000. Your goal this month, save $1,000. That's $250 per week, or about $36 per day. Step 1, cut ruthlessly. Go back to your budget, look at your wants category, and cut 50%. Eating out? Cut it by half. Meal prep instead. Subscriptions? Cancel anything you haven't used in the last 30 days. Coffee runs? Make it at home. $5 latte equals 20 cents of homemade coffee. Entertainment? Free month. Parks, hikes, game nights at home. If you were spending $600 a month on wants, cut it to $300. That's $300 saved. Step 2, sell stuff. Look around your home. What do you own that you don't use? Old electronics, phone, tablet, laptop, clothes you haven't worn in a year, furniture you don't need, books, DVDs, video games, gym equipment collecting dust, Facebook Marketplace, Upearth, Craigslist, sell it. David sold an old Xbox, some sneakers, and a bicycle he never rode, made $420 in one weekend.
Sarah sold clothes, kitchen gadgets, and textbooks from college. $310.
Your goal? Make at least $200 from selling stuff. Step 3. Pick up extra shifts or overtime. If your job offers overtime, take it. One extra shift a week could be an extra $200 to $400 this month. If your job doesn't offer overtime, ask for it. Or look for a temporary gig, babysitting, dog walking, lawn mowing. Your goal, make an extra $200 to $300 this month. Add it up. Cut spending, $300. Sell stuff, $200. Extra work, $250. Total, $750. You're not at $1,000 yet, but you're close. The remaining $250, that comes from your regular budget, from your 20% savings bucket. Yes, it'll be tight. Yes, you'll feel it, but it's only 30 days. End of month 1, $1,000 in your emergency fund. Month 2, the grind, $1,000. Month 2 is harder because you've already picked the low-hanging fruit. You've cut spending. You've sold your stuff. Now you need to get creative. Step 1, side hustle. This is where the gig economy becomes your best friend. Here are 10 side hustles you can start this week. 1. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart. Deliver food or groceries, flexible hours. Make $15 to $25 per hour depending on your market. 2. Uber, Lyft. Drive people around. Weekends and evenings are peak times. Make $20 to $30 per hour. 3. TaskRabbit. Odd jobs, furniture assembly, moving help, handyman work. Set your own rates. 4. Rover, Wag. Dog walking or pet sitting. Love dogs? Get paid for it. Make $20 to $40 per walk or overnight stay. 5. Freelance on Fiverr or Upwork. Writing, graphic design, video editing, data entry. Whatever skill you have, someone will pay for it. 6. Tutoring. Good at math, English, science? Tutor kids online or in person. Make $25 to $50 per hour. 7. Babysitting. Parents always need sitters. Friday and Saturday nights. Make $15 to $25 per hour. 8. Yard work. Mow lawns, rake leaves, shovel snow, depending on season. Charge $30 to $50 per yard. 9. Donate plasma. Not glamorous, but you can make $50 to $75 per donation, up to twice a week. That's $400 to $600 per month. 10. Online surveys or user testing. Sites like User Testing or Respondent pay $10 to $100 per test. Not huge money, but it's something. Pick one. Start this week. Marcus did DoorDash on weekends, 4 hours on Saturday, 4 on Sunday, made $200 to $250 per weekend. That's $800 to $1,000 extra per month.
Sarah babysat 2 Friday nights a month and tutored 1 student twice a week. Extra $400 per month. David freelanced on Upwork. He did data entry and simple design work. Extra $300 per month. Your goal, make an extra $500 to $700 this month from side hustles. Step 2. Keep the cuts from month 1. Don't let lifestyle creep back in. Keep meal prepping. Keep subscriptions canceled. Stay disciplined. Step 3. Tax refund? Stimulus? Bonus? Birthday money? Any unexpected income this month? All of it goes to the emergency fund. Add it up. Side hustle, $600. Budget savings, $400. Total, $1,000. End of month 2, $2,000 in your emergency fund. Month 3, the final push, $1,000. You're 2/3 of the way there. 1 more month. This is where mental toughness matters. You're tired. You've been grinding for 60 days. You want to relax. Don't. Not yet. Step 1. Double down on the side hustle. Whatever you did in month 2, do more. Extra hours, extra gigs. Can you do DoorDash 3 nights a week instead of 2? Can you take on 1 more tutoring student? Can you walk 1 more dog? Push. Step 2. Challenge yourself. No spend week. Pick 1 week this month where you spend $0 on wants. Groceries and gas only. Everything else? No.
Pack your lunch every day. Make coffee at home. Say no to every social invite that costs money. 1 week. You'll save $100 to $150 easily. Add it up. Side hustle, $600. Budget savings, $300. No spend week, $100. Total, $1,000. End of month 3, $3,000 in your emergency fund. All right, here's what you're doing today. Right now. Not tomorrow, today. Step 1. Open a separate savings account. Go to your bank's website or app, open a new savings account, separate from your checking. Name it, Emergency Fund Do Not Touch. Make it hard to access. No debit card, no easy transfers. You want friction. You want it to be annoying to pull money out. Step 2. Deposit your first $100. I don't care where it comes from. Your checking account, your next paycheck. Sell something today. Get $100 into that account today. Why? Because starting is everything. Once you see that $100 sitting there, it becomes real. I have an emergency fund. It's small, but it exists. That 100 becomes 200. 200 becomes 500. 500 becomes 1,000. But it starts with 100. Today.
Step 3. Set up automatic transfers. Decide how much you're saving per week. $50, $75, $100. Set up an automatic transfer from checking to your emergency fund every week on payday. Remove the decision. Automate it. Step 4. Choose your month 1 strategy. What are you cutting? What are you selling? What extra work are you picking up? Write it down. Make it a plan. Execute. Step 5. Track your progress. Every week, check your emergency fund balance. Watch it grow. $100, $250, $500, $1,000. Celebrate small wins. You're building something that will change your life. Sarah still remembers hitting her first $1,000. She cried, not because it was a lot of money, but because for the first time in her adult life, she felt safe. Marcus hit $3,000 and took a screenshot. He looks at it on bad days to remind himself, I did this. I'm capable. David hit $5,000 and then started investing the extra. His emergency fund gave him the foundation to build wealth. 90 days from now, you'll have $3,000. And the next time life throws you a curveball, and it will, you'll handle it. Not with panic, not with debt, with cash. Let's build that fund. Starting today. Chapter 6. Invest like the wealthy, even with $50. Let me destroy a myth right now. You think you need $10,000 to start investing. You think investing is for rich people, people with 6-figure salaries and financial advisors and trust funds. Wrong. You can start investing with $50 today. Not someday when you're making more money, not when you've paid off all your debt, not when you feel ready. Today. Because here's the truth the wealthy don't want you to know. Time in the market beats timing the market. And the earlier you start, the wealthier you become. That $50 investment today is worth more than a $500 investment 5 years from now. Why? Compound interest. Einstein supposedly called it the 8th wonder of the world. And once you understand it, really understand it, you'll never look at money the same way again. Today, you're going to learn how to invest like the wealthy, even if you're starting with almost nothing. Let's begin. All right, let's talk about compound interest, because this is the single most powerful wealth-building force on the planet. Here's the basic concept. When you invest money, it earns returns. Then those returns earn returns, and those returns
earn returns on the returns. It's exponential growth, and it's magic. Let me show you with real numbers. Let's say you invest $200 per month in a low-cost index fund that averages 8% annual returns. The S&P 500 has averaged about 10% over the last century, so 8% is conservative.
Here's what happens. After 10 years, you've contributed $24,000. That's $200 per month times 120 months. Your account balance, $36,700. You made $12,700 just from compound growth. That's a 53% return on your contributions. After 20 years, you've contributed $48,000. Your account balance, $117,800. You made $69,800 from compound growth. Your money more than doubled from growth alone. After 30 years, you've contributed $72,000. Your account balance, $298,000. You made $226,000 from compound growth. Your money quadrupled. Let that sink in. You put in $72,000 over 30 years, which is just $200 a month, and you walk away with almost $300,000. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not 20 years old. I don't have 30 years. Okay, let's say you're 35. You have 30 years until retirement. Start today with $200 a month, and you'll retire with $300,000 in that account alone. Add in Social Security, a 401k, maybe a paid-off house, and you're looking at a comfortable retirement. But only if you start today. Because here's the killer. Every year you wait costs you tens of thousands of dollars. If you wait 5 years to start investing that $200 a month, your 30-year balance drops from $298,000 to $203,000. That's a $95,000 penalty for waiting 5 years. 10 years, your balance drops to $137,000. You just lost $161,000 by procrastinating. Time is your greatest asset or your greatest enemy. You choose. Now let me show you someone who chose wisely. Remember Marcus, 35 years old, warehouse supervisor, $52,000 a year. 1 year ago, Marcus had $0 invested. He thought investing was for people smarter than him, people with finance degrees and stock market apps and insider knowledge. I don't know anything about stocks, he'd say. I'll just lose my money. So he did nothing. For years. Then one day he read an article about a janitor who retired with $8 million. $8 million. From investing a small percentage of his paycheck every month for 40 years in index funds. Marcus thought, if a janitor can do it, I can do it. So he started with $100 a month. Not 1,000, not 500, 100. He opened a Roth IRA at Fidelity. Took him 15 minutes. He chose a target date retirement fund. We'll talk about those in a minute. Set up automatic contributions, $100 on the first of every month. And then he forgot about it. Month 1, balance $100. He checked it every day. Is it growing? Did I do this right? Month 3, balance $310. He contributed $300, made $10 in returns. He was hooked. This is real. Month 6, balance $650. He contributed $600, made $50 in growth. He increased his contribution to $150 a month. Month 12, today, balance $2,100. He contributed $1,800, made $300 in returns. But here's the beautiful part. Marcus didn't stop there. He got a small raise at work, an extra $100 a month after taxes. Instead of spending it, he put it all into his Roth IRA. Now he's investing $250 a month. At that rate, with 8% average annual returns, Marcus will have, in 10 years, $46,000. In 20 years, $147,000. In 30 years,
$373,000. $373,000 from $250 a month. Marcus will never be rich from his salary. He's not getting stock options or a big inheritance. But he will retire a millionaire if he keeps this up and increases contributions when he can. And it all started with $100 and 15 minutes on a Saturday morning. If Marcus can do it, so can you. All right, let's get practical. I'm going to give you 3 simple, proven investment strategies. You don't need to be a finance expert. You don't need to pick individual stocks. You just need to follow the plan. Investment number 1, 401k, especially if your employer matches your contributions. This is free money. You must take it. Here's how it works. You contribute a percentage of your paycheck pre-tax to your 401k. Your employer matches up to a certain percentage, usually 3 to 6%. Example, you make $50,000 a year. Your employer matches 50% of your contributions up to 6% of your salary.
If you contribute 6%, that's $3,000 per year, your employer adds $1,500. That's $1,500 of free money every year. Over 30 years at 8% growth, that employer match alone is worth $180,000. If you're not contributing enough to get the full match, you're literally leaving money on the table. Action step? Log into your HR portal. Check your 401k. If you're not contributing at least enough to get the full employer match, increase your contribution today. Even if it's tight, even if it means cutting back elsewhere, this is a 50 to 100% instant return on your money. You will never find a better investment. Investment number 2, Roth IRA, tax-free growth forever. A Roth IRA is a retirement account where you contribute after-tax money and it grows tax-free forever. When you retire and withdraw the money, you pay 0 taxes. Not on the contributions, not on the growth, 0. 2025 contribution limit, $7,000 per year if you're under 50. That's about $583 per month or $292 per paycheck if you're paid bi-weekly. Why it's amazing? Let's say you max out a Roth IRA every year for 30 years. That's $210,000 in contributions. At 8% average annual returns, your account will be worth $850,000. And you pay 0 taxes on that $640,000 in growth. 0. If that were a traditional IRA or a regular brokerage account, you'd owe tens of thousands, maybe over $100,000 in taxes. With a Roth, you keep every penny. Action step? Open a Roth IRA at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Charles Schwab. It takes 15 minutes. Then set up automatic monthly contributions, even if it's just $50 or $100 to start. Investment number 3, index funds, the lazy millionaire strategy. Here's the secret the finance industry doesn't want you to know. You don't need to pick individual stocks. You don't need a financial advisor charging you 1 to 2% fees. You just need to buy index funds. An index fund is a basket of stocks that mirrors a market index, like the S&P 500, which tracks the 500 largest U.S. companies. When you buy an S&P 500 index fund, you own a tiny piece of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Tesla, and 495 other companies. Instant diversification. Why index funds win? Low fees, 0.03 to 0.20% versus 1 to 2% for actively managed funds. Historically, they beat 90% of actively managed funds over the long term. No need to research individual companies. Set it and forget it. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, recommends index funds for most people. And when he dies, his will instructs his trustee to invest 90% of his wife's inheritance in an S&P 500 index fund.
If it's good enough for Warren Buffett, it's good enough for you. Recommended index funds. Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol VOO, expense ratio 0.03%. Fidelity S&P 500 Index Fund, ticker symbol FXAIX, expense ratio
0.015%. Schwab S&P 500 Index Fund, ticker symbol SWPPX, expense ratio 0.02%. Pick one. Invest consistently, retire rich. Target date funds, even simpler. If even choosing an index fund feels overwhelming, use a target date fund. You pick the year you plan to retire, e.g. 2055, and the fund automatically adjusts its stock-bond ratio as you age. More aggressive when you're young, more conservative as you near retirement. Examples: Vanguard Target Retirement 2025 Fund, ticker symbol VFFVX, Fidelity Freedom Index 2025 Fund, ticker symbol FDEWX. Marcus uses a target date fund. He literally does nothing except contribute money every month. The fund handles everything else. It's the ultimate set it and forget it strategy. All right, here's what you need to do this week. Step 1, check your 401k. If you have one, log in. Check your contribution percentage. Are you getting the full employer match? If not, increase it today. Step 2, open a Roth IRA. Go to fidelity.com, vanguard.com, or schwab.com. Click Open an Account. Choose Roth IRA. Answer some basic questions. Done. 15 minutes. Step 3, set up automatic contributions. Link your bank account. Set up a recurring monthly transfer, even if it's just $50. Automate it. Step 4, choose your investment, S&P 500 Index Fund or Target Date Fund. Pick one, invest your contributions. Done. Step 5, don't touch it. This is the hardest part. The market will go up, the market will go down. You will be tempted to sell when it crashes. Don't. Time in the market beats timing the market. Stay invested, keep contributing, let compound interest do its thing. Marcus made this mistake early on. The market dropped 10% one month and he panicked. He almost sold everything.
But he didn't. He held. 3 months later, the market recovered. 6 months later, he was up 15%. If he'd sold, he would have locked in his losses and missed the rebound. Investing is a long game, decades, not days. Here's your mission for this week. Action 1. Check if you have a 401k. If yes, maximize your employer match. If no, skip to Action 2. Action 2. Open a Roth IRA, Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Today. 15 minutes, no excuses. Action 3. Set up automatic contributions. $50, $100, $200. Whatever you can afford from your 20% savings bucket. Automate it. Action 4. Choose an S&P 500 index fund or a target date fund. Invest your first contribution. Action 5. Commit to never touching this money until retirement. Write it down. Sign it. Make it a contract with your future self. Let me tell you something. The difference between people who retire broke and people who retire wealthy isn't intelligence, it's not luck, it's not even income. It's this. The wealthy invest consistently, automatically, for decades. The broke wait. They wait for the perfect time. They wait until they have more money. They wait until they understand investing better. And while they wait, compound interest is working against them instead of for them. David started investing 2 years ago. He now has $18,000 in his Roth IRA. At his current rate, he'll have over $1 million by the time he retires. Sarah started 1 year ago. She has $4,000 invested, on track for $600,000 by retirement. Marcus started 1 year with $100 a month. He'll retire with over $300,000 just from that small monthly investment. None of them are rich. None of them are financial geniuses. They just started, and they didn't stop. Your turn. $50, 15 minutes, one Roth IRA account.
That's the difference between retiring broke and retiring free. Make the choice today.
Chapter 7. Automate everything so you can't fail. Willpower fails every single time. You wake up Monday morning full of motivation. This week, I'm going to stick to my budget. I'm going to pack my lunch. I'm going to transfer money to savings. I'm going to pay extra on my debt. Monday goes great. Tuesday's pretty good. Wednesday, you're tired. Thursday, you forget. Friday, you give up. By Saturday, you're back to your old habits, ordering takeout, skipping the savings transfer, telling yourself, I'll start again next week. This is the willpower trap, and it's why most people never build wealth, because they rely on motivation, on discipline, on remembering to do the right thing every single day. But here's the truth. You don't need more willpower. You need better systems. Systems don't get tired. Systems don't forget. Systems don't make emotional decisions. Systems just run, automatically, quietly, relentlessly. And today, you're going to build a financial system so powerful, so automated, that you literally cannot fail, even if you try. Let's automate your path to wealth. Let me explain why manual money management always fails. Your brain is lazy, not because you're lazy, because evolution made it that way. Your brain's primary job is to conserve energy, to take shortcuts, to default to the path of least resistance. This is why you hit snooze instead of going to the gym, why you order DoorDash instead of cooking, why you scroll Instagram instead of working on your side hustle. Your brain prefers easy, always. Now apply this to money. Every month you tell yourself, I'm going to manually transfer $200 to savings. But when the end of the month comes, your brain says, you know what? You had a rough week. You deserve to keep that $200 in checking. You'll save it next month. Next month comes, same excuse, different words. Or you forget entirely. Life gets busy, bills pile up. You mean to transfer the money, but you just don't. That's not a character flaw. That's neuroscience. Your brain will always choose comfort over discipline, instant gratification over delayed rewards, spending over saving, unless you remove the choice. That's what automation does. It removes the decision, it removes the temptation, it removes the possibility of failure.
When your savings transfer happens automatically the day after your paycheck hits, before you even see the money, there's no decision to make, no willpower required. It just happens. When your bills are on autopay, you can't forget, you can't procrastinate, they just get paid. When your investment contributions are automatic, you can't talk yourself out of it. The market's down? Doesn't matter. It invests anyway. Systems win because they eliminate human error. And human error is the only thing standing between you and wealth. So let's eliminate it. Let me show you exactly how David, Sarah, and Marcus automated their finances. 3 different people, 3 different systems, all equally effective. David's system, the pay yourself first model. David gets paid on the 1st and 15th of every month. His take-home per paycheck, about $2,700. Here's what happens automatically every single payday. Day 1, paycheck hits at 12:01 a.m. 12:15 a.m., $540, 20% of $2,700, auto transfers to his high-yield savings account at Marcus, separate from his checking bank, making it harder to access. 12:20 a.m., $250 auto transfers to his Roth IRA at Fidelity. 12:30 a.m., $100 extra auto payment to his student loan. By 12:30 a.m., David has already paid himself first. He saved and invested $890 before his brain even wakes up. What's left in checking? $1,810. That's his money to live on. Rent, bills, groceries, gas, and wants. Because the most important money is already gone, David can spend the rest without guilt. He's already won the month. He never has to decide whether to save. It happens whether he wants it to or not. Result? In 1 year, David saved $13,000, invested $6,000 in his Roth IRA, and paid an extra $2,400 on his student loans. $21,400 in wealth building, all on autopilot.
Sarah's system. The bills first, then freedom model. Sarah gets paid once a month on the last Friday. Her take-home? About $2,800. Here's her automation. Last Friday, paycheck deposits. Day 1, Saturday. Rent auto pays, $950. Car payment auto pays, $280. Student loan auto pays, $220. All utilities auto pay, $150 total. Day 2, Sunday. Emergency fund auto transfer, $200. Roth IRA auto transfer, $200. By Sunday, Sarah's critical expenses are handled. She's saved $400. What's left? About $1,000 for groceries, gas, and fun. She knows exactly what she has to spend. No guessing, no stress, no, did I pay the electric bill? Everything critical is automated. The rest is hers. Result? Sarah never missed a bill, never paid a late fee, built her emergency fund to $6,000, invested $5,000 in her Roth IRA, and still had money for weekend brunches and Target runs. All because she automated the important stuff first. Marcus's system. The separate banks model. Marcus takes automation one step further. He uses 2 completely different banks. Bank 1, local credit union, bills and spending. This is where his paycheck deposits. This is where he pays bills and buys groceries. His debit card is linked here. Bank 2, online bank. This is Ally Bank, a high-yield savings account. No physical branches, no debit card. Transfers take 2 business days. Every payday, Marcus has automatic transfers set up. $500 to Ally Savings, that's emergency fund plus house down payment fund. $250 to Fidelity Roth IRA, $150 to extra debt payment. The beauty of this system, Marcus never sees that money. It's not in his daily checking account balance. It's not tempting him. It's just gone. And because Ally takes 2 days to transfer back to his credit union, there's friction. If he wants to raid his savings for something dumb, he has to wait 2 days. By then, the impulse passes. Result? Marcus saved $14,000 in 1 year and didn't even feel it because the money disappeared before he could spend it. All right, now it's your turn. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to automate your entire financial life in 4 steps. Grab your laptop, open your banking apps. Let's do this.
Step 1. Automate all bills. Every single bill you have should be on autopay. Every single one. Rent or mortgage, utilities, electric, water, gas, internet, insurance, car, health, renters, subscriptions, Netflix, Spotify, etc., minimum debt payments, credit cards, student loans, car. How to do it? Most companies have auto-pay options in their online portals. Log in, find billing settings or auto-pay, enter your checking account or debit card info, set it and forget it. For rent, if your landlord doesn't accept auto-pay, set up a recurring bank transfer or use a service like Zelle on a specific date every month. Pro tip: set all bills to autopay a few days after your paycheck hits. This ensures you always have the money in your account. Why this matters? No more late fees. No more, I forgot to pay the electric bill. No more mental load of remembering due dates. Your bills just pay themselves. You get an email confirmation, Done. Step 2. Automate savings. Payday plus one rule. This is the most important automation. The day after your paycheck deposits, money should automatically transfer to your savings account. How to set it up? Log in to your bank. Go to Transfers or Automatic Transfers. Set up a recurring transfer from checking to savings. Frequency, every payday, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, whatever your pay schedule is. Amount, your 20% savings goal from the 50-30-20 budget. If you make $3,000 per month, that's $600. If bi-weekly, split it, $300 per paycheck. Date, the day after your paycheck hits. If you get paid on Fridays, set the transfer for Saturdays. Pro tip, if your savings account is at the same bank as your checking, consider opening a high-yield savings account at a different bank, Ally, Marcus, or Capital One 360. The separation creates healthy friction. Why this matters? You can't spend money you don't see. When the transfer happens automatically, you adjust your lifestyle around what's left, not what you think you have. Step 3. Automate investments. Your retirement contributions should be automatic, no exceptions. 401k. This one's easy, it's already automatic, deducted from your paycheck before you see it. Just make sure you're contributing at least enough to get your full employer match. Log into your HR portal and check.
Roth IRA. Log into your brokerage account, Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Set up automatic contributions. How to do it? Link your bank account. Choose Automatic Investment Plan or Recurring Contribution. Set amount, e.g. $200 per month, $500 per month, whatever you decided. Set frequency. Monthly is easiest. Choose investment, S&P 500 Index Fund or Target Date Fund. Confirm. Now, every month, on the same day, money transfers from your bank to your Roth IRA and automatically buys shares of your chosen fund. You don't have to log in, you don't have to time the market. It just invests every month, rain or shine, bull market or bear market. Why this matters? Dollar cost averaging. When the market's high, you buy fewer shares. When it's low, you buy more shares. Over decades, this smooths out volatility and maximizes returns. Plus, you can't panic sell if you're not actively managing it. Step 4. Automate extra debt payments. If you're paying off debt, automate your extra payments. Let's say your credit card minimum is $50, but you want to pay $150 to crush it faster. How to do it? Log into your credit card account, set up automatic payments. Choose fixed amount instead of minimum payment, enter $150. Set the date for a few days after payday. Now, every month, $150 pays toward your debt automatically. You never have to think about it. Pro tip, some loans, student loans, car loans, let you set up automatic extra payments. If not, set up a bank transfer to the loan servicer for the extra amount. Why this matters? Consistency. The debt snowball or avalanche only works if you stick with it. Automation ensures you do. All right, here's your assignment, and this is non-negotiable. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, Sunday, whenever you have 15 minutes of uninterrupted time, you're going to automate everything. Not next week, not when you feel ready, tomorrow. Here's your checklist. Bills. Set every single bill to autopay. All of them. Savings. Set up automatic transfer to savings the day after payday. If you don't have a high-yield savings account, open one at Ally or Marcus first. Takes 10 minutes. Retirement. Confirm your 401k contribution is maximizing your employer match and set up automatic Roth IRA contributions.
Debt. Set up automatic extra payments on your highest priority debt. Review. Put a recurring monthly reminder in your calendar. Review automated finances. Just a quick check to make sure everything's running smoothly. That's it. 15 minutes tomorrow, maybe 30 if you're opening new accounts. And then you're done. Your finances will run themselves. Money will save itself. Investments will grow themselves. Debt will pay itself down. You can focus on living your life, earning more money, spending time with people you love, because your financial system is handling the heavy lifting. David set up his automations 2 years ago. He's checked his accounts maybe once a month since then. Everything just works. Sarah automated everything 1 year ago. She spends zero mental energy on bills or savings. It's all handled. Marcus set it up and literally forgot his Ally Bank password because he never logs in. The money just piles up. That's the power of automation. You set it once, it runs forever. So here's the deal. If you do nothing else from this entire audiobook, do this. Automate everything. Because willpower fails, but systems win. And tomorrow, you're building a system that guarantees your success. Let's go. Chapter 8. The 2026 Game Plan. Your next 12 months. 1 year from today, you're going to come back to this moment. You're going to remember where you were when you listened to this audiobook. Maybe you were commuting to work. Maybe you were at the gym. Maybe you were lying in bed, unable to sleep because of financial stress. And you're going to ask yourself one question. What did I accomplish? Will you look back and see transformation? Will you have an emergency fund, shrinking debt, and growing investments? Or will you look back with regret? Will you be in the same place, or worse, because you listened but never acted? The next 12 months will determine the rest of your financial life, not because of one big decision, but because of dozens of small, consistent actions compounded over time. Today, I'm giving you the exact roadmap, month by month, quarter by quarter. This is your 2026 game plan. If you follow it, 1 year from now, you'll be unrecognizable. Let's map out your year.
Q1, January to March, Foundation Quarter. Build your safety net and master tracking. This is your foundation quarter. You're not trying to get rich, you're trying to get stable. January, the setup month. Week 1, complete your 7-day money belief audit. Chapter 1. Choose your tracking method, notebook, app, or spreadsheet. Track every single expense starting January 1st. Week 2, calculate your actual take-home income. Build your 50-30-20 budget based on last month's spending. Identify your needs versus wants. Week 3, set up bill auto pay for everything. Open a separate high-yield savings account, Ally, Marcus, or Capital One 360. Name it Emergency Fund, Do Not Touch. Week 4, automate your first savings transfer, at least $250, adjust based on income. Sell one item you don't need. Put proceeds into emergency fund. End of month review. Where did your money actually go? Goal by end of January, $250 to $500 in emergency fund, all bills on auto pay, and tracking system in place. February, the grind month. Focus, build momentum, stack small wins. Week 1, continue daily expense tracking. You're building a habit. Find one monthly expense to cut, unused subscription, eating out, etc. Apply that savings to your emergency fund transfer. Week 2, increase your automatic savings by $50 to $100. Start a no-spend week, groceries and gas only, zero wants. List all your debts if you haven't already, balances, interest rates, minimums. Week 3, choose your debt payoff strategy, snowball or avalanche. Use a debt payoff calculator to see your freedom date. Set up automatic extra payment on your target debt, $25 to $50 to start. Week 4, review your emergency fund progress. Celebrate small wins. Even $1,000 is a huge milestone. Plan your March strategy. Goal by end of February, $800 to $1,200 in emergency fund, debt shrinking, side hustle started, habits locked in. March, the acceleration month. Focus, hit $1,500 to $2,000 emergency fund, lock in habits. Week 1,
Side hustle research. What can you do for extra income? Sign up for 1Gig, DoorDash, Rover, Fiverr, whatever fits your skills. All side hustle income goes to emergency fund. Week 2. Do your first side hustle gig, even if it's just $50. Review your budget. Are you sticking to 50-30-20? Adjust if needed. Find one more expense to cut or reduce. Week 3. Tax refund coming? All of it goes to emergency fund or debt. Increase debt payment by another $25 if possible. Track your net worth for the first time. Assets minus debts. Week 4. End of quarter review. What worked? What didn't? Celebrate. You've survived 3 months of discipline. Set Q2 goals. Goal by end of March? $1,500 to $2,000 in emergency fund, debt shrinking, side hustle started, and habits locked in.
Q2, April-June, attack quarter. Theme, destroy debt and optimize budget. You've built your foundation. Now you go to war with debt. April, debt destruction begins. Week 1 to 4, maximize side hustle hours. Aim for $400 to $600 extra this month. Every extra dollar beyond emergency fund minimum goes to debt. If emergency fund hits $2,000, pause contributions and attack debt harder. Continue tracking, but it should feel automatic by now. Goal by end of April? Emergency fund at $2,000 to $2,500. Extra $300 to $500 paid toward debt. May, optimization month. Week 1, review your needs category. Can you cut anything else? Call your car insurance for a better rate. Seriously, this works. Call your internet provider and negotiate a lower bill. Week 2, meal prep like your life depends on it. It kind of does. Challenge, spend $0 eating out this month. Every saved dollar goes to debt. Week 3, check your credit score. Credit Karma, free. If it's improving, consider refinancing high-interest debt to lower rates. Week 4, mid-year check-in. You're almost halfway through 2026. How are you doing? Goal by end of May, needs optimized, $500 to $800 extra toward debt, meal prep mastered. June, momentum month. Week 1 to 4, push harder on side hustle. Can you add one more gig or increase hours? If you paid off your first debt, even a small one, celebrate. Seriously, you did it. Redirect that paid off debt's payment to the next debt. Snowball or avalanche. Goal by end of June, $3,000 in emergency fund, or first debt completely paid off. You're halfway through the year and winning. Q3, July-September, growth quarter. Theme, start investing and increase income. Debt shrinking, emergency fund solid, now you build wealth. July, investment launch month. Week 1, open a Roth IRA if you haven't already. Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Choose your investment, S&P 500 Index Fund or Target Date Fund. Set up automatic monthly contribution. Start with $100 to $200. Week 2, check your 401k. Are you maximizing employer match? If not, increase contribution. Calculate your future. Use a compound interest calculator. See what $200 per month becomes in 30 years.
Week 3. Continue side hustle, but explore passive income ideas. Freelancing, online courses, selling digital products. Week 4. Review investments. Don't panic if market's down. Stay the course. Goal by end of July, Roth IRA open and funded. 401k optimized. First investment made. August, income increase month. Focus, earn more, not just spend less. Week 1 to 2, ask for a raise at work. Seriously, prepare your case and ask. Or apply for higher paying jobs in your field, or increase side hustle to $800 to $1,000 per month. Week 3, skill development. Take a free online course, Coursera, YouTube, in a high-income skill. Update your resume and LinkedIn. Week 4, any income increase? 50% to lifestyle, 50% to savings and investments. Goal by end of August, income increased by $200 to $500 per month or concrete plan in place.
September, consolidation month. Week 1 to 4, review your progress. How much debt have you paid off? How much have you saved? Increase Roth IRA contribution if income allows. Continue automations. They should be invisible by now. Goal by end of September, $500 to $1,000 invested. Debt down 20 to 40% from January, income higher. Q4, October to December, finish strong quarter. Theme, review, reflect, plan for 2027. The final push, finish 2026 stronger than you started. October, final debt push. Week 1 to 4, throw everything extra at debt this month. Sell stuff you don't need. Holiday shoppers are buying. If you pay off another debt, celebrate big. Goal by end of October, another debt paid off or major balance reduction. November, gratitude and giving month. Week 1 to 2, review your net worth from March. Compare to now. How much did you grow? If you're stable, give back. Donate, help a friend, tip generously. Abundance mindset. Week 3 to 4, avoid lifestyle creep during holidays. Stick to budget for gifts. Use cash or debit for holiday shopping. No new credit card debt. Goal by end of November, holiday spending planned and budgeted. No debt created. December, year-end review and 2027 planning. Week 1, full financial review. Emergency fund. Where'd you start? Where are you now? Debt. How much did you pay off? Investments. How much did you contribute? Net worth. Calculated. Compared to January.
Week 2, set 2027 goals. Emergency fund to $5,000. Debt-free by December 2027. $10,000 invested. Income increased to X. Week 3-4, celebrate. Seriously, you did something most people never do. Take yourself out to a nice dinner, budgeted, guilt-free. Relax, you earned it. Goal by end of December. Clear plan for 2027. Proud of your 2026 progress. Let's talk about celebration, because if you don't celebrate your wins, you'll burn out. Here are the milestones and how to celebrate them. First, $1,000 in emergency fund. Buy yourself a nice coffee or a small treat. Take a screenshot of your account balance. Frame it if you want. This is proof you can do hard things. First debt paid off. This deserves a real celebration. Go out to dinner, within budget. Tell someone you trust. Post about it, if you're comfortable. You just broke chains. $3,000 emergency fund complete. Take a half day off work. Do something you love. You've built financial security. That's a massive win. $5,000 invested. Open a nice bottle of wine or your favorite treat. Sit down and use a compound interest calculator. Watch that $5,000 grow to $50,000 over 20 years. Smile. 50% of debt paid off. Plan a weekend getaway. Budgeted. You're halfway to freedom. Celebrate that. Completely debt-free? This is life-changing. Take a full day. Do something meaningful. Write a letter to your past self. You did it. All right, here's your final mission. Right now, yes, right now, open your calendar app. Create a recurring event, Money Review Day. Date, the first of every month. Time, morning, whenever you have 30 minutes of quiet. Location, home, coffee shop, wherever you can focus. What to bring? Laptop, coffee, notebook. What you'll do during Money Review Day? Check all account balances, checking, savings, investments, debts. Review last month's spending. Are you sticking to 50-30-20? Celebrate wins, even small ones. Identify problems. Overspent on wants? Address it. Adjust next month's plan if needed. 30 minutes once a month. That's it. This single habit, monthly review, separates people who succeed from people who fail. David does his review every first Sunday. Coffee, laptop, 1 hour. He's never missed one in 2 years. Sarah does hers on the first of the month during lunch break. 30 minutes, non-negotiable. Marcus does his the night of the first after his kids go to bed.
Quiet time, spreadsheet open, reflecting on progress.
Find your rhythm, but make it happen. And here's the secret. After 6 months, you'll actually look forward to it because you'll see progress. You'll see your debt shrinking, your savings growing, your investments compounding. You'll see proof that you're winning. And that proof will fuel you to keep going. So here's what happens next. You finish this audiobook, you take a deep breath, and you start. Not perfectly, not with all the answers, just start. January, foundation. Q1, safety net. Q2, debt destruction. Q3, wealth building. Q4, finish strong. 12 months from now, you'll be a different person. Not because you got lucky, not because you made more money, though you might, but because you built systems, you took action, you showed up every single day, even when it was hard. David did it. Sarah did it. Marcus did it. And now it's your turn. 1 year, 12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days. That's all it takes to completely transform your financial life. The question is, will you do it? I already know the answer. You picked up this audiobook. You made it this far. You're still listening. That means you're serious. That means you're ready. So let's finish this together. Welcome to 2026. Your year, your game plan, your financial freedom. Let's go. Conclusion. You're not alone anymore. Remember David, Sarah, Marcus? Let me tell you where they are today. David, the tech worker from Austin. 2 years ago, he was drowning. $45,000 in debt. Credit cards maxed. Student loans bleeding him dry. Every month felt like running on a treadmill, getting nowhere. He was making $65,000 a year, but living paycheck to paycheck. Starbucks every morning, Chipotle for lunch, DoorDash at night. $11,000 a year on food he barely remembered eating.
Today, David has $12,000 left in student loan debt. That's it. He paid off $33,000 in 2 years. His 3 credit cards? 0 balance. Paid in full. He has $18,000 in his Roth IRA. At his current contribution rate, he'll be a millionaire by the time he retires. He has $8,000 in his emergency fund. A car repair doesn't scare him anymore. A medical bill doesn't destroy him. David sleeps through the night now. He doesn't check his bank account with dread. He doesn't avoid opening credit card statements. He's not rich, but he's free. And it all started with tracking his spending, with saying no to daily Starbucks, with choosing his future over his comfort. 2 years. That's all it took. Sarah, the teacher from Charlotte. 1 year ago, Sarah had $0 in savings. 0. She made $42,000 a year teaching 3rd graders how to read and write. And every month, her bank account hit 0 by the 25th. She overdrafted 3 months in a row. She put groceries on a credit card. She borrowed money from her parents and felt like a failure. She was 28 years old and had nothing to show for a decade of working. Today, Sarah has an $8,000 emergency fund. $8,000. Fully funded, safe, untouchable. When her car needed $1,200 brake repairs 6 months ago, she paid cash. No panic, no credit card debt, just paid it and moved on. She has $5,000 in her Roth IRA. She contributes $250 a month automatically. She doesn't even think about it anymore. She paid off $2,000 in credit card debt. She's completely debt-free except her student loans, which she's aggressively paying down. Sarah doesn't live in fear anymore.
She doesn't lie awake wondering how she'll afford rent next month. She doesn't cry in her car after checking her bank balance. She's a teacher. She'll never be wealthy from her salary, but she's building wealth anyway. 1 year. That's all it took. Marcus, the warehouse supervisor from Phoenix. 18 months ago, Marcus had negative $5,000 in net worth. More debt than assets. 2 kids, a wife, and a mortgage, and zero plan for the future. He made $52,000 a year managing a warehouse team. He worked 50-hour weeks. He was exhausted, stressed, and terrified of what would happen if he lost his job or got sick.
He had no emergency fund, no investments, no hope. Today, Marcus has a net worth of $28,000. $28,000! From -5 to +28 in 18 months. He has a $6,000 emergency fund. He has $12,000 in his Roth IRA. He paid off $8,000 in credit card debt. He has $2,000 in a 529 college savings plan for his kids. Marcus isn't living paycheck to paycheck anymore. He has options, choices, freedom. If he lost his job tomorrow, he wouldn't panic. He'd have 6 months to find a new one. His family would be okay. Marcus goes to work now with pride, not desperation, because he knows he's building something. He's securing his family's future. He's breaking the cycle. 18 months, that's all it took. These aren't fairy tales. These are real people. Regular jobs, average incomes, no windfalls, no inheritances. Just systems, discipline, consistency. And now, it's your turn. Let's recap what you've learned in this audiobook. Chapter 1. The Money Mindset Revolution. You learned that money isn't the problem. Your relationship with it is. You discovered the difference between scarcity mindset and abundance mindset. You completed your 7-day money belief audit and reprogrammed your brain. Chapter 2. Track every dollar. You learned that you can't control what you don't track. You discovered your invisible spending, the money leaking out without you noticing. You chose a tracking method and committed to 30 days of awareness. Chapter 3. The 50-30-20 Budget. You learned the simplest, most effective budgeting system on earth. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. No complicated spreadsheets, no 17 categories, just 3 rules. Chapter 4. Kill debt like your life depends on it. You learned that debt is modern slavery. You discovered the debt snowball and debt avalanche methods. You used a debt payoff calculator and saw your freedom date. You committed to paying more than the minimum, even if it's just $50 extra this month.
Chapter 5. Build your $3,000 emergency fund. You learned that 80% of emergencies cost under $3,000. You got a 90-day plan to build your safety net. You opened a separate savings account and made your first deposit. You started building the buffer that changes everything. Chapter 6. Invest like the wealthy. You learned that you don't need $10,000 to invest. $50 is enough. You discovered the magic of compound interest, how $200 a month becomes $300,000 in 30 years. You opened a Roth IRA and started investing in index funds. Chapter 7. Automate everything. You learned that willpower fails, but systems win. You automated your bills, savings, investments, and debt payments. You removed the decision. You removed the temptation. You built a system that runs itself. Chapter 8. The 2026 Game Plan. You got a month-by-month roadmap for the next 12 months. Q1, build your foundation. Q2, attack debt. Q3, start investing. Q4, finish strong. You put Money Review Day on your calendar, the first of every month, 30 minutes, non-negotiable. That's the system. 8 chapters,
8 pillars, 1 transformed life. Now, let me tell you the truth. This won't be easy. There will be days when you want to quit, when you're tired of packing your lunch, when you're exhausted from side hustling, when everyone around you is spending freely and you're grinding in silence. You'll get invited to things you have to say no to. You'll watch friends take vacations you can't afford. You'll feel left out, deprived, frustrated. There will be setbacks. Your car will break down. An unexpected bill will hit. You'll have a weak moment and blow your budget. You'll feel like a failure. You'll wonder if it's worth it. It is. Because the alternative, staying broke, staying trapped, staying one emergency away from disaster, is so much worse. Yes, this is hard, but so is working until you're 70. So is living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life. So is never taking a vacation, never helping your kids with college, never retiring. You get to choose your hard. And I'm telling you, choose the hard that leads to freedom, not the hard that leads to a lifetime of regret.
David wanted to quit in month 3. Sarah almost gave up in month 2. Marcus had weeks where he thought, this isn't working fast enough. But they didn't quit. They kept going, one day at a time, $1 at a time. And now they're free. You can be too. 1 year from now, I want you to come back to this audiobook. I want you to listen to the introduction again. I want you to hear yourself, where you were, what you were feeling, what you were afraid of. And then I want you to look at your bank account, your investment account, your debt balances. I want you to see the transformation. Because you will transform. If you follow this system, you will be a different person 1 year from now. You'll have money in the bank, real money, not just $50 hoping to survive until payday. Thousands of dollars, a cushion, a safety net, peace of mind. You'll have investments growing, compound interest working for you, not against you. Your future self getting richer every single day. You'll have less debt, maybe no debt, freedom from the chains that have been holding you back for years. But more than the numbers, you'll have something else. Confidence. You'll know that you're capable of hard things, that you can set a goal and achieve it, that you're not a victim of your circumstances, you're the architect of your life. You'll walk differently, talk differently. You'll make decisions from a place of abundance, not scarcity. And one day, maybe not this year, maybe not next, but someday, you'll help someone else. You'll see a friend struggling with money, and instead of staying silent, you'll say, hey, let me tell you what worked for me. You'll pass it on. You'll break the cycle not just for yourself, but for your family, your friends, your community. That's the real power of financial freedom. It's not just about you. It's about everyone you touch. David now mentors a coworker who was in the same place he was 2 years ago. Sarah started a money club with 3 other teachers. They meet once a month to review their finances and hold each other accountable. Marcus's kids, 8 and 10, are learning about money because their dad finally learned. He's breaking generational poverty. His kids will never struggle the way he did. That's your legacy. That's what's possible.
Not just wealth, impact. So here's what happens next. You're going to close this audiobook. You're going to take a deep breath, and you're going to take the first step. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you feel ready. Today, right now. Here's your first action. Grab your phone. Open your Notes app or grab a notebook. Write this at the top. My financial freedom journey started, and then today's date. Then write 3 things. 1. Where I am today. Current debt, current savings, current situation. Be honest. No shame. Just truth. 2. Where I'll be 1 year from today. Write your goals. Emergency fund, debt paid off, investments started. Be specific. 3.
My first action step. What are you doing today? Tracking your first expense? Opening a savings account? Canceling a subscription? Write it down. Then do it. Not later. Now. Because here's the truth. Most people who listen to this audiobook will do nothing. They'll feel inspired for 3 days and then go back to their old habits. They'll stay broke, they'll stay trapped, they'll stay scared. But not you. You're different. I know you are, because you made it to the end. You listened. You're still here. That means you're serious. That means you're ready. So prove it. Take action. Today. Track that first expense. Open that savings account. Set up that automatic transfer. Cancel that subscription. One small action. That's all it takes to start. David's first action was writing down every expense for 1 week. That's it. That one action changed his life. Sarah's first action was opening a separate savings account and depositing $50. That $50 became $8,000.
Marcus's first action was setting up a $100 automatic transfer to a Roth IRA. That $100 became $12,000. Small actions, massive results. You're not alone anymore. You have a system. You have a plan. You have a roadmap. And you have proof that it works. David, Sarah, Marcus, real people, real results. The only question left is, will you join them? I already know the answer. Yes, you will. Because you didn't come this far to stay where you are. So take a breath, close your eyes, and say it out loud. I am capable. I am worthy. I am going to build the life I deserve. Now open your eyes and begin. Welcome to your financial freedom. Welcome to the rest of your life. You've got this.